Hi, I'm Lauren with AADL.
And I'm Nate from Common Cycle. We're back with the second part of our two-part video series on preparing and riding your bicycle in the winter.
In our last video, we discussed what you can do to prepare your bike for winter riding. But in this video, we're going to focus on you, the bike rider, and what you can do to prepare yourself to ride in the winter.
Let's get back in the workshop.
As we think about how to ride our bikes in the winter, what are some main points we should keep in mind?
Yeah, so I think the best things to keep in mind are comfort, safety, and confidence.
Okay. Before we get into our conversation about those 3 points, let's watch some footage of some Ann Arborites who ride their bikes in the winter and really like it.
Sounds great.
Hi. I was nervous about riding my bike in the winter until it occurred to me that I would happily go sledding with the grandkids or skiing and not worry about being cold. So I dressed like I was going out for any other winter sport when I went for my winter commute, and I found that it was fantastic, and I'm so glad that I did it. I hope you will too.
So the reason I have a bicycle in the winter is because I really enjoy skiing and don't have the time for it. It's really not as unsafe as people perceive it to be.
So Nate, both Tim and Kim in those clips mentioned that they like to ride because it's really fun and great exercise to ride their bikes in the wintertime. It was compared to sledding with the grandkids and skiing.
Yeah, so aerobic activities are great points of comparison for getting out on a bike. You're going to get warm, you might even sweat, so it's important to layer and think about your sort of relative comfort in the temperatures that you're going out in before you go out and plan accordingly. I think we should take a look at some of the different layers, both comfort and safety things you can do for yourself to help you be prepared to ride.
Great.
So we'll start from over here on sort of more of the comfort side.
Yep.
So there's a couple key pieces of gear that go a long way in the winter. Something that you might call an overpant is really great. So something that's wind and waterproof or resistant is ideally reflective. This is great because it's relatively thin. It can go over a regular pant and keep you well insulated and protected from water. When you think about comfort while riding, it's all about your extremities. So you have a variety of gloves. Layering systems are really great. So you have sort of a base glove. You can even get a thinner liner glove, a sort of mid-weight glove that might be waterproof, ideally. It may keep you warm, let's say down to 30 degrees. Below that, you want an additional glove or to add a separate, larger ski glove or glove system that's either a mitten style or what's called a lobster claw style that keeps some of your fingers together but not all, to really make sure that your hands are warm. Then you have things like head coverings, a balaclava, a gaiter, or something that covers your neck, and your ears. And then your feet, the other main extremity to be concerned about. Water and wind protective, that's something that you could put over either a special pair of bike shoes or just a regular pair of boots. Winter boots work really well, especially if you have flat pedals. You can just wear your regular winter boot, particularly if it's waterproof and insulated. Then moving over to some considerations around safety, you have highly reflective things like a reflective sash that you might get, or a vest, something you might even have if you're a runner or a walker. Okay. Really anything that's reflective, particularly because it's darker in the colder months as well. Something like a reflective ankle band at a minimum to help make you more visible. They make helmet covers that both insulate your head and keep you warmer that are also highly visible like this. Then you can also do things like add a light to your helmet. So in the wintertime, again, when it's dark, it enables you to be seen better and to see better. Particularly in very cold and windy environments, it's helpful to consider eye protection. Something like this, which is a more dedicated, wind blocking but very clear field of vision goggle, is really helpful. And then, of course, lights are extremely important. Active lighting, so lights that flash in the front or the rear, and that are battery powered and high powered, so not a low powered light or something that's underpowered for the conditions.
Okay, so we just touched just now on the concept of safety. What does it mean to be a safe winter bike rider?
Bike lanes and sidewalks might be snowy, so you need to take the lane, as it's called, where you move into the normal lane of car travel, which is legal and often safe when possible. There's also lots to know around sort of basics of riding, and so there's resources like the What Every Michigan Bicyclist Must Know by the League of Michigan Bicyclists that articulates your sort of rights and your responsibilities on the road, and that's important to understand any time of year.
Got it. Third and last, Nate, there's this concept of confidence. What does it mean to be a confident winter bike rider?
Yeah, confidence plays a big role in winter riding because conditions are not optimal. You're not riding on dry surfaces often, and so there's a lot of potential to be unstable, potentially to fall, which does happen occasionally in the winter, and there's ways to do that safely. So confidence plays a role in keeping you safe. For instance, if you're riding over a snowy or icy patch, being able to continue riding and have your wheel be moving is more stable than if you try to negotiate that without putting any energy into the pedals. Your motion forward will actually keep you more stable. There's also ways to negotiate sections of ice by getting off and walking and deciding when you're going to be on and off your bike and sort of knowing when you're going to be doing something unsafe and making a decision to sort of avoid those conditions. So having the confidence to both embrace those conditions and also avoid them when possible.
I really like that too, Nate, because that makes me think about being flexible, and that's a really good thing to be if you're a winter bike rider, is to kind of react to the conditions on any given day, and sometimes just say, today's not the day to ride.
That's right. And on those days where you might be taking a little more of a risk for your own personal comfort, you may fall, and falling is something that does happen more often in the winter because of conditions, and there are perfectly safe ways to fall and be safe in that risk taking, but it's always okay to say, I don't feel comfortable, and that's as much a factor as anything else.
Got it.
I'm at Hunt Park. It's a beautiful day for a ride. The roads are clear and very refreshing.
Well, thanks for talking with us today a little bit about winter bike riding from a bike rider standpoint, Nate.
Sure, yeah, happy to do it.
Thanks for watching the second of our two-part video series about biking in the winter. Don't miss our first video about winter bicycle maintenance.